Today we're going to have a look at the horoscope of Robert Downey Jr. In particular, we're going to have a look at his role as Iron Man and see if astrology says that this suits him, that it was a good idea. Basically, we're going to see how much an actor's horoscope can provide guidance on what roles they should play. Before we do this though, I want to remind you of what we saw in an earlier video about Arnold Schwarzenegger and how well suited he was to play the role of the Terminator, a role in which his body made an excellent focus for playing a science fiction high-tech role. So we will quickly look again at Arnold Schwarzenegger's horoscope to note the relevant features of his horoscope for this role. Now, the main feature was the combination of Mars, representing body and combat, and Uranus, representing science fiction and high technology. Let's take a closer look at the keywords for these planets. Here we see Mars. Some of the keywords for Mars, well, the body, action, conflict and war, those sort of words, making decisions. Now we'll have a look at Uranus and the keywords for it. As we look through the list of keywords, we see high-tech and science fiction, as well as innovation and originality. Basically, anything technological that is new and shiny figures well here. Now, this clearly is an ideal combination for Arnold Schwarzenegger to play the Terminator. It's also worth noting that in the 11th house, we see these planets, and the 11th house is, in one sense you could say, is about being in front of an audience. And this basically says the wider public will welcome his role as the Terminator. Now, what about Robert Downey Jr.? What has he got in his horoscope that suggests he could succeed at playing a high-tech science fiction role? We should note that he received a lot of very positive reviews for his role. In fact, it may be the most popular and successful role so far in his career. In the movie Iron Man, the body of the character he played was heavily involved in high-tech science fiction devices. Ideally, this would be best represented by the same aspect as found in Arnold Schwarzenegger's horoscope. But maybe there is another explanation. We'll have a look. We should note, though, that both roles had considerable success, and the question remains or arises, could this be Robert leaving a legacy similar to Arnold Schwarzenegger's? Should he continue with this role? Okay, well, let's have a look. Here is Robert Downey Jr.'s horoscope. Unfortunately, we see the 11th house as bare, so instant public recognition is not necessarily on the cards. But what is his day job? Here's an actor, and a good one. So let's have a look at his house of work, the 6th house, and see if he should do this job of playing a high-tech science fiction character. Well, look at that. Here is Mars and Uranus beside each other, same as Arnold Schwarzenegger's horoscope, suggesting again that playing such a role would really suit this actor. In addition, being in the earth sign Virgo gives added emphasis to forging a creation from an earth element such as iron. This is very aptly portrayed in the movie when the hero character builds his first iron suit in a cave, reminiscent of Hephaestus forging creations for the gods of Olympus. The traits of Virgo include planning, designing, structuring, constructing, and perfecting. These traits play very strongly in the Iron Man character. But our hero starts off in the story as an arms dealer. If you ask any astrologer what is the first sign they would associate with such a profession, you'll always get the answer, Aries. And here we see that Robert Downey's sun sign is Aries, another strong astrological fit for him to play this role. In addition, with Venus beside the Sun, it gives instant charisma and charm. It matches the fun, outgoing and extremely confident character of the role he played in Iron Man. Also, with Mercury nearby, It fits with a character who can sell war and the tools of war. In fact, his big sell early in the movie of his latest equipment was an excellent example of how a full-blooded Aryan would sell such equipment. In a sense, he doesn't need to act so much as put himself fully in the context of his character, as he has all the astrological qualifications and characteristics to make his character very credible. But there's more. In the movie, his power source is intimately linked with his body, and it powers his new high-tech sci-fi exoskeleton. It's funny how Pluto, which represents power, just happens to be beside the Uranus-Mars combination. On a minor point, be aware that Virgo relates most strongly to health and having a healthy body. It's just that in this case, it's a high-powered, high-tech body. We see too that his character is very wealthy. A classic attribute of wealth is to have Jupiter, the planet of success, in Taurus, the sign of material value, or in the second house, the house of money. In this case, we have all of this. Robert is bankable and can play wealthy characters very well. In the movie The Hulk, the latest version, version 2, William Hurt made reference to Robert Downey's character always wearing great suits. This fits with the Jupiter in Taurus in the second house configuration. Basically, it's a bling combination. All that shiny, golden, wonderful, charismatic, appealing, beautiful stuff fits right in here with Taurus in the second house. He should always actually make movies where his character is an unqualified material success, with a bit of war going on in the background. One final point about Arnie. When he made that movie, The Last Action Hero, we just might want to remember that that film and that role was not in keeping with the ideals of Leo. We find there that in the story he was henpecked at one point. He was antagonistic to himself. He had a loss of confidence, and his power was based on fiction rather than technology. None of these traits fit the strong Leo high-tech sci-fi body component or personality that he should have been playing. However, he himself personally liked the script, which he would have because Neptune in his third house has an appreciation of creative ideas. Unfortunately, this creative idea did not fit the rest of his horoscope, and unfortunately reviewers and the public tended not to like it. Well, the lesson is clear, arguably, that if you're an actor and you're given a script which you think really suits you down to the ground, you'd better check if it really fits your horoscope, because if it doesn't, you may have a flop on your hands.